Good morning, and nice to see you here.
Yeah, same here.
So, all the teachers, good morning and Jai Hind. We are all very lucky to have amongst us Mrs. Mamta Baheti from Hislop College, Nagpur, an expert in the e-learning tools, and she is going to be teaching us and talking to us about various facilities of Google Classroom. And it's over a 3 days, every day we do 1.5 hour session. And we are also thankful to Kulkarni sir, who has introduced her to us. And we are lucky that Gujarat Training School, Kal Patil, and some of his teachers are with us. So over to you, Mrs. Mamta, you can start.
घरीची गरबी होती खरी काम करू निशेतान तरी असमाना ठेव श्री दर्शनाया.
Hope I am audible.
Yes.
You can put in the...
Yes, Mrs. Mamta, we can hear you. Strength 5.
Yeah,
very clear.
First and foremost, I'll thank God and my parents, because of whose blessings and efforts I'm here today in front of you. They have nurtured me in such a way that I am here to share something with you. I'll thank Kulkarni Kaka. I never say him sir. I call him Kaka because he's my Kaka. And Sangram Davi sir and all the participant teachers for providing me with an opportunity to interact with you. I am also in learning mode. I'm not an expert, but every day whenever I interact with all other faculties, I learn something new from you also. So this is just a learning and interaction session that we will be having formally for 3 days, and if we require, we'll extend it for next few days. Let me start up with hope my screen is visible. Hope my screen is visible, sir.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah, visible, ma'am.
Thank you. So, in these sessions, we'll be working with managing online classes and co-creating. That is acronym for MOOCs. Now, as far as pandemic is concerned, it has taught us various varieties of teaching that we were not used to since last so many years. We were following the traditional teaching method where generally we used to use the chalk and talk method. I love it very most, but this pandemic has taught us some different platforms that we can get used to and be connected with the teachers and students. So in these sessions, we'll be working with creating class using Google Classroom. Then participants, please check that your mic is mute, because otherwise the people will hear the background sound and they will not be hearing me. Then we will see how the components of the Google Classroom are placed, where they are placed, and how to use them. Then how to add teachers of the class. This particular training and learning session will help you right from the scratch. You can create a class individually if it is required, and for organization level also. So it is helpful for everyone. How to add teachers of the class, how we will be adding students by 2 ways. either by the class code that I will share or the invitation link. Then when we were working with the syllabus, so we find that there are some topics that to be highlighted. So how to create those topics as per the syllabus and how to rearrange them as per the sequence of the units or the chapters we require for. Then while we are at distant place with the students, we need to create the study material either in the form of PPTs, videos, or some textual material, or might be you are using some online material. So please take care that how to post that material and how to create it. So we will be working with it. How to place the material through Google Drive, through link, through a file that can be uploaded, that is available already on your computer. And some YouTube videos are very helpful or maybe associated with the topic. So for additional information, if you require, you can attach that video as your study material. Then most important, as far as academics is concerned, we give assignments to the students. So now our major question is how to create an assignment, how to assign them. So friends, when we create an assignment, there are two options. Either we create it right now and post it, or second option is we create it but we don't assign it. Just for right now I'm having the time and I'm preparing it, I'm not posting it to the students. And third one is I'm preparing, but I know I will be busy after 2-3 days and the assignment has to be scheduled after 2-3 days. So I can scheduleize it as per my convenience, create it as per my convenience, and people will feel that it is being posted on the same day. So it is very helpful if you want to work in advance and get the things done. Then next is when we schedule the assignments, assign the assignments, we need to evaluate it. So for evaluating the assignments, how to what measures have to be taken, how we will evaluate those, either the subjective assignments, that can be, we can have the alternative word for it like descriptive assignments, or the assignments that we give in a, you can say, MCQs pattern. So how to evaluate it, that we will study. Then next comes, sometimes we like to have tests or random test or just an assessment test, or might be a practice test. So we will call it as an assignment. So how to create those quiz assignments? There are two options. One is blank format and other is like we have prepared a quiz for suppose physics and we want to use that physics test or quiz for some other class, but not all the questions, some questions from it. So we can reuse it, that we will see. Then how to prepare the descriptive assignments. There will be two ways for creating it, and it will be very helpful for the faculties because MCQs are more easy for the students to appear like doing akkad bakkad bambebo, but to write the assignments in descriptive way, it is a difficult for them. They have to read it, summarize it, and then write it. So it would be helpful for teachers to prepare the descriptive assignments and also the descriptive test. Then how to prepare the multiple choice question test. In this test, there are two options. One is you are creating the test and immediately the result is displayed to the students after they attempt the test. But sometimes we require that we don't have to issue them the result right now. We have to make it a pending one. So after compiling that particular data, then we may display it in a cumulative way. So there we don't have to display the result to them just moment they have appeared the test. So likewise also you can prepare just by making some settings. Then for preparing test and assignments, we have to learn how to work with the Google form. Some faculties might be knowing this, but we will start it from the very basic, so that everyone is well acquainted, and without any hesitation they can use those things very efficiently. So in the Google form, we'll see the introduction about the Google form, how to create, name and preview Google form. This is very important as far as remembering the assignments, as far as teachers point of view is concerned. Tagging them is very important, because for one class there may be 10 to 15 assignments, I guess. So if all the names are same, it is difficult for the teacher to locate those files. So this is very important. Then how to customize the Google form, as far as like your Sainik School Chikaldara. So you want that particular form to be labeled as Sainik School Chikaldara with your logo, or likewise the background photograph. So how can you customize it? That's important, because that becomes your authentic Google form. When we attach our logo, attach our organizational details with it, it becomes more authentic. So how to customize it? Then we will see various basic controls and how to use them for our various activities, as far as academics is concerned, as far as administration is concerned. Then how the students will submit a form and what they will get in return, that we will take care of. When the students have appeared the test, what they will receive is on their part, but what teachers have to do and what they will get in ready-made and how to use it, that we will see in while creating the spreadsheets. This is very important feature as far as teachers documentation is concerned, and the academics documentation is concerned. Then after working on the Google form with these basic controls and basic features, I'll work on with some advanced features. These are very, 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 very important as far as you have, whenever you are thinking that you are making the very exhaustive, either the test or the quiz, or like it is making very effective. So then how to add the videos and images, like you can have a question based on an video clip, so you can post that video and get the answers from it. That also you can prepare through Google form. Then how to reuse the questions. Suppose I have prepared one test that is for class 5th, and then I have prepared it for class 7. I am teaching the same subject, and some questions might be same. Options might be different, but questions might be same. So how to reuse those questions, or how can we shuffle those questions, that we will see. Then how to validate the response. Response means what the answer the student will fill in. So suppose if anywhere you are required with a number and student is putting an alphabet, so how that particular form will check that that particular answer is wrong. He should put the alphabet there. Sorry, he should put the number there in place of alphabet. So that will be taken care of. Then next is how to add sections. This is again an important feature of Google form to make it more effective working and customizing it. Then while adding sections, how to create the quiz and how to send the quiz. There are various ways for sending the quiz, and also collecting data from quiz, and how to organize it, structure it. So now friends, we'll be starting with creating class with Google Classroom. Hope we are starting the journey towards teaching, learning and evaluation using e-tools. So everyone is with me? Now to start up creating class using Google Classroom. First and foremost, I should have an email ID from Google, that is Gmail ID. Almost all faculties, all students generally have Google Gmail ID. If you don't have, we will have to prepare it. and then work on it. So first step is we should have the Gmail ID. Suppose my Gmail ID is mamtabaheti3@gmail.com. So I'll sign in by typing mamtabaheti3 in the Gmail login. And when I'll click, I'll have to ask, it will ask me for the password. I'll fill the password. Now the inbox is appeared in front of me. So now friends, when you see that inbox, there are, see this, in this corner, you will find a 9 dots box. Hope everyone is able to locate that 9 dots box. Then from that box, when we will click and scroll down, you will find classroom there. Okay. After clicking on classroom, you will see this screen, and on this screen you will find the plus sign. Now this is your first attempt for your mail ID to create a class. So there you will find there is no such class available. So it is asking for to create a new class. If it is already created, we will see the different view of it. So when I'll click on this plus sign, I'll get this join class or create class. If I'm a student, I'll click on join class. If I'm a participant, I'll click on join class. But if I am a admin or a teacher or a co-teacher, then I'll click on create class. So whenever I click on create class, you will be able to see a pop-up message mentioning that G Suite for education is suitable and it is free for classroom teaching for school or university, and it is free for that. Okay. So I have, we will have to check it, this particular notice. When I check it, I'll have to click on continue. When I click on continue, a pop-up message comes out asking for some details to create the class. There are 4 things that we should mention here. This is very important when we are in the thought of creating class. What these things are: first, what is your class name? Second, its section. Then the subject, and if that subject is vast and number of students are more, then we can add on the rooms. So for an example, we'll take it here. Suppose I'm preparing a class named BSc Semester 1. Okay, with sections. Now we are having 4 sections, and for those 4 sections, the subject is common. So instead of extending more classes and instead of extending more people for it, what I'll do, I'll club it out for I'll club out all the faculties in one class only. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm clubbing 4 sections, that is you can say four sections, that is the M4, M5, M6 and M7 under BSc Semester 1 for the subject Fundamentals of Information Technology. You may vary it as per your convenience. First, on paper, you will have to check down what the things you have to arrange and in what sequence. Is the subject common for this sections, or a section is having 5 subjects? So do you want to create 5 different classes under one email ID? It is your choice. You can club or separate out for your administrative purpose. So I felt comfortable with this. So I have selected as a class name BSc Semester 1 as an example, and clubbed M4, M5, M6 and M7 sections. Okay. Then I don't have to create a separate room for them. So what I'm doing, I'm just skipping that particular room block empty, and then I'll click on create. And when I click on create, you will see this particular screen. This is very important. Hope you are able to locate that red block.
Yes.
In that red block, you will find the name of the class, the sections that are involved, and a class code. So if you want to add or manage the teachers or add the students, what you can share is this particular class code. This particular block indicates this is your class has been created, and now you can work on it. Okay, so now in our second session, we'll see understanding the computer components of Google Classroom. So now what these components are. See friends, here you will see a 3-line box, that is a main menu. In this main menu, you will see the various details that you can work with. Second is the class code, which can be shared or used to join or work with the class. Then next is the events or assignments or the upcoming test, whatever is scheduled can be viewed in this upcoming session. Next is the stream, whatever we communicate either from the teacher's side or the response from the students in the form of comments can be viewed in stream section. Okay, next, see here we can see we can share something with our class, any comments, anything we can require for. Next is classwork section. Here we prepare the study material, post it, assess the things, and we do all the things here itself. So this block is important for us. But if you want to view the communication, we will have to work on the stream section. We will have to see the stream section. Next is, see, we can create or work with the classes, assignments, topics, all those things we can do it here. Next is people section. This people section comprises of, we have 2 blocks. One is teachers block, another is students block. Now you will see one name, though you have not added any teacher right now here, but you will see at least one name, because the person who is creating the class, by default, he is the primary teacher. Now for your organization, you can make it as an administrator who is able to view all the classes, who is responsible to create all the classes, and he will monitor and has his existence in all the classes. So likewise, you can do it. So here I have created, so my name is there by default. I have not added any teacher right now. Now, how to add a teacher? So you will find a box mentioning a person and a plus. That means we can add the person over here. Next is the students block. Here right now I have not added not a single person. So that particular block is empty. Nor I have given any invitation, nor given and nor shared any class code. So you will find it is empty and blank. So for adding, either I can invite them or share the class code that I have shared with you on some previous screens. So now next is marks block. How to allocate the marks, how to see where for which assignment the marks are, and just view all the complete assessment of the student. So friends, here you will see right now I don't have any student nor any people attached to it. So this particular block is empty. But if I would have attached it, you will find that particular name of the student there and no marks, no category. So now can we go with the adding teachers to the class?
Yes, yeah, ma'am.
I hope I am not
Yes,
going
ma'am.
very fast. Is it understandable?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So now how to add teachers of the class? by default, primary teacher is created. So now next we have to invite or add on the co-teachers. These co-teachers can perform the role of primary teacher. They can do all the things except delete a class. Only the primary teacher can delete a class. Rest, all the options like sending the assignments, assessing the assignments, adding the students, removing the students, all the things can be done by the co-teacher, but only one thing cannot be done, that is deletion of a class. So that is to be taken care of. Now how to send an invitation. So friends, here you will see when friends, here you will see I have invited by clicking on this person with a plus sign. I have typed pnmalu 1963@gmail.com. This is my co-teacher for an example for you. Okay, so when I type here, I will see this in a gray color, not active, and in the bracket it is mentioned invited. Next, I want to invite teacher, like suppose I have created one more extra email ID, mamtabaheti4@gmail, and when I type it in the search results, it shows mamtabaheti4@gmail.com. I'll have to click on this and click on invite. When I click on this, see this screen looks like this. When I click on this and invite, the name appears in the teachers list with a word in the bracket, that is invited. Next, likewise, how a teacher will join it. This is also important. As a primary teacher or admin, I have shared the link to or invitation to the co-teacher, but how she or he will join the class. So that particular teacher or co-teacher will work like they will log in their mail ID. When they will log in their mail ID, they will see an invitation to co-teach, the class name and the section. When they will see, open that particular mail, they will see a join button. When they will click on that join button, like this, suppose like Prakash Malu has joined. And likewise, for an example, I have used two more email IDs. One was Mamta Baheti 4 and other one was Mamta Baheti 7 for an example to you. So likewise, you can see in my class, BSc semester 1, there are, including me as a primary teacher, there are 3 more teachers. Okay. Next,